you think of places that still a kind of ethnocentric, they haven't colonized anybody else. That's why you have places like Japan, Vietnam, and China, where it's an ethno state, right? When you look at everywhere else, including Russia, the only thing stopped the Russia was they just couldn't do what the other Europeans did. But I think that to answer your question, no and yeah, no for places that are ethno states, right? Because a lot of people don't have the same ideas and views about politics as the West. You see what I'm saying? And you got to respect that. That's one thing that they had that never changed. You see what I'm saying? The West on the other side, the reason why it is how it is because of colonization. And now you have the question arise: should people, are we a melting pot? Do you assimilate and things like that? You know what I'm saying? One offset of that was like you had Chinatown, you had Germantown, and all these different ethnicities and stuff that had their little areas, but then it's universally we all met up at work in different places, social gatherings and stuff like that, where people commonly meet, and that wasn't a thing. So I think for some groups it could be racist, but if you already live in an ethno state and that's what it always was, no. One would make the argument like what's happening in the UK with the like all the Arab immigrants and shit like that, and like Sharia law is like actually being brought up in European countries with, you know what I'm saying? And now is a thing because the way the system works is a minority rule situation. When people vote and when the numbers start to change, the culture start to shift, especially if you're getting a lot of immigrants and immigrants have kids and they bring their culture, they don't necessarily assimilate into the culture. So some people want to protect that. But like places like China, Japan, and all that, they're not even letting you stay there. So it's not even an issue.
Yeah, I wonder. Like, it's interesting to me because they're proposing to have Indian and or African immigrants come in and replace the workforce, and I can see how like Europe, there is a consequential like chain between Europe colonizing a lot of the world, the Middle East included, and like they're dealing with the blowback of all of those destabilized prisoners of war from their various wars. But you know, Japan never colonized Africa. Maybe they did India. I don't know. I'm not that hip. Like
Now
I
I
think I
don't think
said,
they did well. Well, when during the Second World War, you gotta think like that's just an extension of China. That they got the same ancestry, right? But they broke off and became their own ethnic group, right? This same way like in Korea and other places in Asia, right? But the Second World War was what it was, but to my knowledge, no, they didn't colonize anyone by the definition how we see it. See what I'm saying? During the 1600s and 1500s, they wasn't doing that, and that's what I'm saying. And it's I'm saying the reason why that's important is because now you're living amongst different people. You inserted your culture and religion amongst the people. You see what I'm saying? And now you got this amalgamation of different people, and then within that, the majority of the people become the dominant culture. You see what I'm saying? And then now, when other groups and other numbers start to kind of pick up, is a threat to the dominant culture, and it's going to be people that want to protect it. It's going to be people that's more conservative. It's going to be people that's more liberal that want to be like, why not this be this way? You see what I'm saying? Why not be so open? But then even on the other side, when you got people that's being accepted on the other side, you got people that, yeah, we actually want to take over. We don't want to be accepted. We want to rule. We want to be the dominant culture. So it all depends, yo. Uncle Marty, I don't know what happened to Uncle Marty. Sorry, Will. I didn't mean to step on your toes. Uncle Marty, we can't hear you or see you. So I'm gonna take you off the page. And when you come back, I'll bring you back up. Go ahead, Will. Floor is yours.
I was going to say, I agree. I think it can. I think like many things, like a lot of things can be true at the same time. And I think the hardest thing for a lot of people to accept is that racism is a natural human reaction. We're pack animals by design.
You mean
We're always
tribalism? Racism is
yes.
something different than tribalism, respectfully.
You know,
I
we
don't
can
think
play,
racism is a natural thing. I think tribalism is.
we can play the semantic game and
It's
interrupt
not the
each other.
same. It's not the same because people that's the same race, quote unquote, can live amongst each other and still have tribalism. Racism is something different.
Okay.
In my opinion.
People sticking to their own and is always like a natural way of doing things. And so I think that like I said, two things can be true at the same time. Someone can be prejudiced and also be motivated to protect their own in like the most wholesome way, in my opinion.
Uncle
And,
Marty had wanted to say something before he had dropped off, Will.
No, I really don't have too much to say. I mean, I think it's a valid point. You know, I really don't have an issue with immigrants, to be honest with you, but I do understand them wanting to protect their culture. There's nothing wrong with that.
do you think that Japan sees how we've let all these immigrants in our country and they're like, yeah, we don't want to be like the U.S.?
Yeah, but the U.S. Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, I really can't say it like that because, you know, the U.S. was just founded on a whole different, you know, we are immigrants. Everybody here is an immigrant, you know. I mean, other than us, of course, you know the story behind that. But everybody here pretty much are immigrants. So, I mean, it's just two different cultures, you know.
I agree with Uncle Marty. Because like he said, Uncle Marty hit on something real good when he said like this how America started versus what Japan already was. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference here. So like if you're looking at it through the lens of an American in the history here, you're going to look at it as racism, right? But their culture always been intact. It never been the threat of, it may have been tribalism, you know, but not necessarily racism. You see what I'm saying? Because Japan has a unique culture, China has a unique culture, and Taiwan has a culture, Korea has a culture, but the further you go back, they the same people. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, you know.
But go ahead. I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying. I just don't think I don't think they're looking at it as racism. You know what I'm saying? But I think because it's their shit never been threatened, probably like the way it is now, with everybody traveling, we getting to see how beautiful different places are, and people want to go there and stay. You see what I'm saying? And then
And the reason it's beautiful is they don't let people stay. Is a lot of their argument.
I can see that, but you gotta think though, a lot of people that could afford to travel ain't the people that's gonna come throw trash all around.
You'd be surprised, actually.
Things. Yeah, but I mean, but for the most
tourists can be extremely disrespectful.
But for the most part, you know what I mean? A lot of people going somewhere and it's beautiful. They like, you know, just because you see flowers, you don't pluck them. You know what I mean?
I wish that was true, but people do some. It's incredible how disrespectful people are. When I was looking into this topic, an Australian just got arrested for drinking a beer off of a what do you call it? Like when it's like it was a memorial, but it was at someone's grave in a shrine. Someone left a beer on someone's grave, and the Australian came up. Not only did he drink it, but he posted it on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Yeah. Well, when you go places, I get it a lot of times, but the majority of people respect other people's culture. You're gonna have the anomaly where you got people who do stuff for the most part because they would have just shut it down altogether because they got the right to. The other part of it is when the Enola Gay flew over and dropped that first bomb, you know, and then we dropped the second to get them to surrender in World War II. a lot of the rebuilding, the reason why Japan is so modern as it is now is because we helped rebuild it. That's why it's a new city. It's not new cities per se, like new, but it ain't old like New York. It's not old like the places in Western Europe, like London and stuff like that. That's fairly new. Same places like with China. We see all these new cities and how the technology and the lights and everything, because they basically new cities. They're not older than us. Well, probably in Japan, yeah. But I'm talking about a lot of this stuff is new. So a lot of people feel like they're obligated to a certain degree to go over there. I don't know. This is a different
I don't really. Why would they? They were blown up by the U.S. and taken advantage of, and just by proximity, they got some money out of it. But they got nuked. Like I don't know.
But we rebuild it. No, I'm just saying. I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, like, some people probably have a sense of entitlement to it. I don't know. I mean, but what's your overall, to keep the conversation going? What's your overall premise and why you introduced this to the panel?
To me, I think it's just a microcosm of what's going on in the whole world. How society is progressing too fast for humanity to keep up, and the elites don't seem to care. Our family foundations are falling apart all over the world, and the elites don't seem to be concerned about it. And it's very concerning. And I guess the next topic I would connect this into is like feminism / the breakdown of social structure in general, or traditional social structure in general. It's destroyed our natural human factory to a point that society is collapsing in all of the supposedly first world, and they're shipping in third world immigrants to replace them. And it does very much sound like a great replacement for everyone, all people. Even us Black Americans, we're not immigrants at all. Many of us were bred here, but we are suffering because the immigrants are coming in and taking. I mean, they're not taking anything, but it's only so many bingo cards. So if the room is full, only very few people are hitting bingo. But how do you think the whole feminism thing clocks into this? Like with the advent of capitalism and feminism in Eastern society, their family structure is suffering, not as bad as ours, but it's on its way. Actually, it's worse in Japan. Japan, they are having less kids than they have people. Their society has already started to collapse. And the elites are like, I don't care. Just ship me some Africans and Indians and we'll be good until robots replace all of us. Is that the plan? To me, it seems progressivism, globalism, all of this is forcing us towards transhumanism. And we're just along for the ride. Similar to last week, how we're just watching World War III happen. We're just watching us all being forced into cyborg / forced into extinction.
Even with the cyborg angle, like everybody gonna get be a part of that. That's gonna be for the elites. The elites got everything.
That's all part of the plan.
Live forever. Yeah, I mean.
All right, I'm a little confused. Like, is it overpopulated, or is they losing their population?
They're going on population collapse. They have too many old people and not enough young people, so their workforce is extremely inadequate.
So that's why they want to import people from different countries.
Yeah, exactly. And they're proposing importing 500,000 Indians and eventually some Africans as well. And, a lot of people are going to say racism, brown people. But at the same time, like a lot of the things that is valued the most about Japan is going to be impacted greatly. If you Japan's not a massive country. 500,000 people, it's going to completely change the demographics. And it's
Yeah,
really
is it?
interesting. Like, go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry.
No, I was basically ready to ask you is to say if is the main issue here at hand with their economic and their economic growth and everything is that they're dying off as it relates to the reproductive growth, and basically they're not having children, so it's like if 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 their younger that their younger society is going elsewhere due to the economic growth, then of course by it's got to be safe to say that they're eventually going to be eradicated due to the growth population of the young, and they traveling abroad trying to make better opportunities. So of course by default then they may become extinct.
That does seem to be the plan.
Well, they
But
said,
is it systematical, or is it what do you think that is causing this?
I think it's definitely.
I have a theory on possible reasons. They say they got one of the world's oldest populations, where 29% of the population is over 65, right? And far as childbearing is like according to ChatGPT, it says is around 1.3 children per woman, which is far below replacement level of 2.1. So also outside of ChatGPT, do you think we just talked about that bomb being dropped? Like it's a lot of people, different birth
Still
effects.
suffering.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if y'all know how radiation work. I had worked for the incinerator before I had went to prison in PA, and we used what's that? Somebody tweaking out over there with the rubber ducky is crazy. Oh, that's the little Doug you always be yelling at, like it be understanding. Yo. But
little.
he ain't little at all. My dog's like a cat. I cut all her hair off. But anyway, what I was going to say, what about this? Wouldn't that? I mean, you got to think about all the men. Japan was fighting everybody in World War II. All the men that died and perished in that, and then the population that they lost due to those 2 nuclear bombs. Then what Lou said, people going elsewhere. Like I got one of my homeboys here, power lifter, bodybuilder. He Japanese, our friend. You see what I'm saying? Like it's people who it's large populations of other groups living in America or outside of their ethno state. You see what I'm saying? And that's a contributing factor because it's probably better over here. They probably go there to visit. Well, some of them never been there. You see what I'm saying? And then if you want to factor in the fact that, yeah, we evaporated hundreds of thousands of people, and then at the same time, this lasting effects from radiation sickness and stuff like that, and different things happening along those lines. I could see why they would want to import people in. However, you can't have it both ways. You can't say you want to keep your culture intact, right? And the majority of the population is 65 years old and older. And then with the internet and how culture is shared now, to as though a lot of the stuff is Black American culture, a universal, universal culture with the younger people, you know what I'm saying? Picking up on that, and then like you're importing other people from like Africa. You know how Africans feel about their culture, you know what I mean? Or different people in Europe feel about their culture. You're bringing people in, you're gonna have a Christmas tree, and you're gonna have some daggone jollof rice cooking. So like, you know what I mean? Like you can't have it both ways. Like if you the people gonna come with their culture, they're not coming with a blank slate. So I guess that's gonna be a byproduct of not having a workforce, because one of the problems they having is sort of like here where they don't have enough young people there working, that it can't support the older people that's collecting the benefits on the other end of that.
I got a question. But do they have population control, like, or was it an effect like they have it in China?
That one child policy shit.
Yeah, so that may be a big contributing factor if if that's the reason why, if they do have population control.
I don't think they do.
That shit end up hurting China.
Yeah, but if you think about that, that same thing happened to the United States when a lot of our men went to the war and the women was forced to take over the households and things of that nature, and they kind of reversed the roles of our society, like you were saying in the beginning, like how it affect all our countries as a whole. That it just didn't affect Japan with all the men going to war, because they ain't just lose people. Whoever they was warned against lost men too, a lot of men, and that was our country. You know what I mean? So like you said, and then that's when put the women in the workforce, that put them in a different frame of mind of where they stood in society, gave them a bigger voice, which ain't nothing wrong with that, and they deserve it, like we always know. But at the same time, like it kind of changed the roles, and when you go back to roles, you think about power. Power corrupts all men and women. So it don't have to be a lot of power to corrupt them or have them act a different way. And it could be just as simple as you remember a time in our society when a man could do almost anything he wanted there to his wife, because she really ain't had no choice outside of him. So if he left, he was paying all the bills, he was taking care of the kids, he was doing everything. So if he left, he really left for dead, so to speak. But now she has more options, more power. She like, oh no, you can leave. I take care of my own bills. You know what I mean?
Man, women are more fucked up than ever.
Huh?
I say women are more fucked up than ever with more choice than ever.
I mean, it's a double-edged sword, because we are all human beings and we all deserve to be equal. But at the same time, like you said, in reality, we're not. So you know that you can't stand 10 women and 10 men at the and make them do the exact same thing, and all the women will be equal to all the men. It will be impossible. Like, it's a physical thing that just can't be denied. You know what I mean? And so, like certain things I disagree with. I'm a chauvinist myself, a sexist, if you want to call it, but you know what I mean? I believe women should be doing certain shit. I believe men shouldn't be doing certain shit. I hate to see a man in a scrub outfit. You know what I mean? But I know some of them got to be like that for the doctors and stuff like that. But that's just something I hate to see. You know what I mean? But I hate to see man waiters. I hate to see that shit. Motherfucker come over there talking about, man, I'll help you. No, you ain't getting no tip. Get out of here. But you know what I mean? Just certain things in society, like, I just don't agree with myself. But it's just the way it is. Like, this is the downfall of the, like you said, the decisions of these elite people who's not directly affected by their decisions. That's just like in any organization. The president of the organization can say and do almost anything he wants, because he's not going to be directly affected. He can say cut 10,000 jobs, shut 8 places down, businesses down and stuff like that, because he's trying to maintain his job. So they can we all sacrifice the sacrificial lamb for them. So it's like, what are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? It's like the people got to become more individually and then be collective at the same time. Like, it's kind of crazy, because you got to find out who you are, then you got to find a group to be in, so we could try to come together and realize what's going on. So it's like, it's a tough thing to do, not just for Japan, but for America too, what we dealing with here every day. So that's just me.
On the topic of equality,
that was a good
I was
take.
curious.
Will, was that the angle when you talked about feminism? Was that the angle you was talking about? Because I was going to ask you for context, and I think Bill gave good context to the feminist angle of it. Like, the shortage of men, like that happened during the war, forced more women into the workforce. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask Bill a question about that.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I was like, maybe my microphone isn't loud enough or something. But on the topic of equality and equity, do you think that, like, giving women place in the workplace and a place to vote, that kind of really distracted society in a way from the social pay gap, that the elites are still paying normal people less? And they're doing the same thing nowadays by being like, instead of paying everybody a fair wage, we're just going to bring in some immigrants and pay them cheaper and just distract y'all away from the sandwich. And while we're throwing crumbs all over the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, like I'm saying, does it seem similar to you? Because that's what it seems like to me. Like instead of being actually fair, they're like, yo, look over here, and we're gonna keep ripping you guys off in a new way, a deeper way.
I mean, listen, that's the age-old trick about everything to make you feel like you're getting something. That was our, the discussion I have all the time about politics and things of that nature. Like they had, like you said, it's the Kansas City Shuffle. I like to quote movies a lot. It was on Lucky Number 11 when Bruce Willis told the dude, like, yo, it's a Kansas City Shuffle. He said, what's that? He said, you look this way. Dude turned around, came back, Bruce Willis, and broke his neck. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, while they got you looking one way to think something going on, they doing what they want to. You know what I mean? So, but that it can't go no. You got to control people. A few people can only control masses of people through manipulation and control, and that's it. They must find a way to manipulate them. And like you said before, back in the day when it was brutal, it was punishments, it was all kinds of brutality. But nowadays, it's mental. They realize that brutality don't do nothing but make people uprise and rebel. But they realize that if you can control them mentally, you ain't got to beat them. You ain't got to do nothing to them. You can make them control themselves. Like you said, you can always put them in a mind frame that they always got to do certain things to be a certain place, get a certain place in the society. You know what I mean? And they got they have all of us is, I want to say, being fooled, of course, no matter what we do or what we say. You know what I mean? They still going to continue to do the things that they do to further their own personal life. But don't nobody care about nothing about how they live, because anytime one man can buy a 30-room mansion, you know, come on. And then it's like so many of them, like you could tell that people don't care about nobody. I don't care how they say, oh, I love my fans, or I love the people, I love this, I love that. They don't love nothing but themselves. Because there's nowhere in the world that one person, Tupac said it himself, like there's nowhere in the world one person should have 4 mansions. It don't make no sense. What did he need that much space for, or that much property, or that much of anything to himself? So if you got people like this in this world, and these are regular people, this ain't no kings and queens or people that come from money. These are people who didn't have money, got money, and this is what they chose to spend it on. You know what I mean? So when you get poor people, give them money, and then this is what they do with it. Like, you know what I mean? You got them by the balls. You got the people by the balls. You know, so they give this person a couple of hours, give that person a couple of hours. Like they say, make you feel as though that everything is fair and everything is equal. So it can further the illusion. You know what I mean? And like you said, until people really start looking past this surface shit, like this, what I be saying this about myself. Like I can't speak on nobody else, but about myself, like I can't look at nothing on no surface. If somebody walk out to me and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" The first thing I'm thinking about is why they asking me how I'm doing. Why they worrying about me? What's going on with them? Why are they so concerned about how I'm doing? And then I come to realize that they really don't care. They're just saying it for some particular reason. Either they trying to make themselves feel good about themselves, or they trying to get something out you, or whatever the case may be. But it's never, ever would somebody walk up to you or anybody say anything to you. Whatever they say is not what they want and is not what they mean. And when people keep on looking at surface stuff and keep on saying, oh, look at this, it's right here, it's right here. Like, of course it's right there. That's what they want it to be, right there. So you can look at it and act like you know what you're talking about, or act like that you got a say in what's going on, and you don't. They just want you to think that so they can further control whatever they control. And it ain't just politicians. It's the people with money, the people that come from wealth. It's just like you said, the elites. And it ain't, and until people start focusing their attention on the proper things, shit ain't going. We gonna always be in this position. Like you said, people worrying about the wrong thing with Lord Dirk dead, and who Puffy molested and shit like that. Like, come on, that shit stupid. They all do that shit, all of them. And they, like you said, they got us worried about Puffy. He one person, like the rest of them ain't pedophiles. You know what I mean? And then like our whole society, Puffy. While, like you said, the next thing you know, you turn around, there's troops here. He trying to send troops here. It's like he almost trying to take over the country, trying to flex his military might, showing the country that he can do whatever he said he gonna do, despite
we're getting a little lost in the weeds.
Huh?
I said we're getting a little lost in the weeds now.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want to ask both of you guys a question since we talked about this feminism thing. Either one of you guys married?
To the game.
I've been married. I've been divorced. I'm divorced for 10 years.
Will, you been married?
I've been married to the game my whole life.
That was a good one. That was a good
shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's been up, it's been down.
Nah, man, but it's the game, baby.
Hey, sidebar. My bad.
Go ahead, man.
All I was gonna say, anybody one person without us like going off topic want to answer this question from the chat. It says because I don't want to throw it off, but just because somebody asked the question on what we thought, and either Uncle Marty or Bill could take this one. It says what y'all them about Trump trying to send the troops in DC, brothers. I think it's crazy on there on some BS. So what
did you write that, Uncle Marty?
Nah. You fucking Uncle Marty. Somebody New Orleans sports. Thanks for watching, by the way. Uncle Marty, you want to take that or Bill?
Listen,
nope.
I myself, I don't want to go in on them because I ain't been down to DC. You know what I mean? I would love to go down there and chill out down there firsthand so I can see just really how they current. You know what I mean? Like, but of course, of course, like we spoke about before, if it's keeping the violence down, who gonna complain? But it to me is that like what means is people prisoners in their own home and in their own community. Then to me it ain't working. So like I said, I really can't say what's going on until I really get down there because like I said, the couple videos I seen on the internet, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't like they was creating some kind of bond with the people and making people feel safe and comfortable. It's like they were just, you know what I mean, an extension of the police force. And like I said, ain't nothing going to come of over policing an already over police state. If it's already over policing and they ain't stopping bringing the crime down to a significant matter, then over policing it ain't going to do nothing. It's just going to make the people that's not doing nothing feel like prisoners in their own home in their community and don't have the freedoms that they've been promised for up 10 years now. So, yeah.
All right. I just what's this gentleman name? All right, the commenter. Okay.
New Orleans Sports TV.
All right, I just want to state the facts. I talked about the posse comitatus rule last week. Judge Breyer, who's a federal judge in California, he pretty much kicking them out. Is against the law what he's doing. Now, DC is different. It's different, but that rule is, I'm gonna say, don't quote me. I think it's part of the Constitution or it was ratified. So what he's doing is illegal. You know, even with him trying to go to Chicago, it's illegal. You know, so we could split hairs.
Did you see him roll back his comments too? He even said it. You know, the DC is one thing, but like he rolled it back to Uncle Marty when he was like, if they ask for assistance, because he can't.
Right.
He definitely rolled it back.
So the thing would be next. He can file an appeal with the appeals court, but that would be en banc. I'm not a lawyer, but I do a lot of reading of the law. But he can appeal it to appeal court. He would need 7-3, but he would need a majority of the 10 for it to pass. Now, being as though it's been a law, I don't think that they will even take it up. So if they don't take it up, it's done. Maybe he can go on the emergency appeal with the Supreme Court, but I highly as much as that court is divided, I don't think they'll even take that one up. So that's where we at on that.
Yeah, I think it's just the totalitarian tiptoe. It doesn't matter who's president. They're always figuring out a way to centralize power. You know, Trump is a Republican enforcing federal power over states' rights, which is like the least Republican thing possible. And Obama was the same way. He was a Democrat president trying to go to war with everybody. And like, again, the totalitarian tiptoe never
I like
stopped.
that. Hey, Will, you want me to bring your video in?
Yeah, I want to, because this video is by a Japanese creator, and
right.
you know, I like to hear the Japanese opinion.
Okay,
whatever that is.
All right, I'm about to bring your video in. New Orleans sports. Thanks for the question. Thanks for the take, Bill and Uncle Marty.
Thanks for the law session, Uncle Marty, because I don't think you told them how you felt. You just stated a whole law. I mean, it was informative. Don't get me twisted, but you ain't really never say how you felt about the trips in DC. You ain't never say how you felt about the situation. You just wrote the law.
You're right. You're right. I thought I explained that last week. Okay, let me say this: it's illegal. I don't think that he should have done it. I done already stated 20 years of the history of the crime stats going down. They will never be able to stop crime at all because you can't be everywhere at all the time. So that's how I feel about that.
All right, we dropped Lou. Hold on, let me bring Lou back. Yeah, from what I've seen, you know, like Bill said, you know, I haven't been there, but people who live there is mixed feelings. You know, you get mixed reactions. You got people who feel like, you know, they don't want a stop and frisk type situation going on where just because we trying to stop crime, we're going to become tyrants and bother everybody because we're not trained law enforcement and we don't know what to look for. So we're harassing people. Then you got people who feel like this. And there's a real good video. Sorry, Will. I'm gonna land my plane fast.
Show it.
You know, I seen a video and this lady, you know, the other angle, she was like, don't send the troops. Let the moms keep burying their sons. Don't fight with them. Take your troops out. And you know, it's people that felt like that. And then you know, it's just mixed feelings. It's like you got people, then it's like you got people who's welcoming in, and then you got people who's not. Bill, what you do? You made yourself the solo.
Center stage.
Yeah.
I ain't do that. I ain't touched them.
But,
but let me take over the show. So I got more.
Go ahead, do you? I just think it was just. I think people just feel all people. I think it's just mixed. It's mixed reactions. I think people just feel different about it. I mean, I already said how I feel. I ain't that throw the whole show off. But I did a video. I did a video. If you look down the page, not too many videos ago, like 2 weeks ago, I did a video talking about how I felt. And but you know, that was 2 weeks ago. I feel a little different, but my initial feelings are still kind of the same. But as this unravel and we see where this go, I definitely don't believe in a tyrant government. You know, so I'm against that. But all right, let me shut up. I'm messing it up.
Let me set up the context right quick. The context of this video, I really had to look hard because the best, most informative videos were all in Japanese with questionable subtitles. And so just keep that in mind. I had a really hard time finding a good video. and he's just talking about the immigration crisis, but he does touch on some other subjects. And yeah, and please don't copy strike us, bro. We're trying to
Fair
promote
use,
you.
fair use. Shout out to the creator, excuse me. All right, there you go, Will. Hold on now, where is it? Here we go. Let me know when you want me to stop playing it too.
Why now?
Word.
Is trying to accept more and more immigrants, but I am against the current government's immigration policy because it is not well planned. I'm not against immigrants themselves. I'm only against accepting a large number of immigrants just for cheap labor for big companies and for the personal interest of politicians. When I say this, some people call me a racist who hates immigrants. If they want to call me, but they can. Unlike them, I accept diversity of opinions. Recently, I received many messages from Germans, British, and Canadians after making a video about Japan's immigration issue. They said things like,
Can we
Japan
pause it right there?
from us. Otherwise, your own traditions and culture will.
Yeah.
What do we think about what he just said right there? Learning from the West.
I mean, I get what you was thinking about the racist part, but I mean, I don't think that was necessarily racist. I mean, what he didn't specify exactly what he learned from the West.
Not
But,
yet.
I mean, if I was to make an assumption, I guess it would be this important to many people. It's not the noun, it's the later. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I agree.
So like, and I think, you know, like, but I don't know. I mean, the same, anyway, how you spin it, Japan had the same result as the West importing people. It might not be to the same degree initially, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think it'll be like what Trump is doing when it comes to immigration, the ugly side of the now and the later. And they kind of in the middle. America is like in the middle of the now and in the later. And Trump is like,
is that really happening though? Like I see more Mexicans every day, and they're not Mexicans; they're all varieties of Latinos.
I'm just saying. According to what we see on the phone, I haven't seen anybody getting picked up, but I'm pretty sure some of the stuff that I've seen with people getting ripped away and all that stuff, you know, I think it's real. You know what I mean? But I think that the fear is what's happening, not necessarily in America, but what's happening in like places like Europe. You see what I'm saying? Like in London and stuff like that. Because like and not my words, but they have a Muslim problem. You see what I'm saying? And you know, they was introducing parts of Sharia law and
they've got a rape
legislation
problem
and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So like that's not European culture. I mean, well, it's European culture because a lot of the Ottoman Turks and all that, they, you know, and what happened in the Middle East and the Levant, why it's so light, you know, they the same people technically, phenotypically, if you let them tell it. Uncle Marty, is you ready?
Yo, we lost them.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
I don't think what he said is racist. I really don't. But here's the issue I had with the whole what he's saying in general. Their population is dying. So whether they like it or not, they may have to accept immigrants. Because if the population is dying, the financial security will dry up. So then what? That's why that's one of the reasons why a lot of Hispanics come to America. Not just because of the violence, but the money. So I get what he's saying. I don't think it's racist, but I also think that they need to live in reality. And the reality of it is their population just isn't growing by their own admission. That's
Well,
it.
he said something earlier, and maybe we can go back when Larry gets back. He said that like a lot of this is for the politicians and the elites' benefit, and they destroyed society for their own benefit. They destroyed the family unit for their own benefit. Now they're bringing in immigrants for their own benefit. When are we like it's not like the problem of family structure being destabilized is insurmountable. They're not trying to fix it. In fact, they're doing the opposite.
Somebody brought up something
Uh,
good. James Doe said Germany rebuilt by Turks and Italians, then they never left and changed Germany culture to a German culture with high context of Turkish culture. So, I mean, I guess that's it. That's it right there. I apologize, guys. I got kicked in. It it closed all my browsers, so I have to pull the video back up.
Oh, it's all
Um,
good.
How y'all feel about what the commenter said about with Germany and the Ottoman Turks?
I can't
Man,
say
my
nothing.
history
I
my
don't know
history is
nothing
too
about it.
weak.
Oh,
I do understand that the Roman Empire is kind of the foundation of the British and Germanic empires. And I mean the King of Germany and the King of England, those are the same family. So, but yeah, my history is too weak. I don't. But that sounds good.
I would
mhm.
like to add
I
to
think.
Will's question. Go ahead, Bill.
No, I was just gonna say like the like it's be the the, he was complaining about people coming, but about mass immigration, but at the same time, like it really don't matter because like people going we going it's too concerned with people being separate. Like if they whatever their culture is, no matter how many people is immigrated or migrated to that country, they can still maintain their culture within that. Like the commenter just said, yeah, it'd be a German culture with higher contents of Turkish culture. Like if the cultures is going to mix, just like the United States, like we all live a different kind of culture. Yeah, our culture is a predominant type of culture, but then we have splashes of white culture in what we do because we don't have no choice. We live side by side people every day. Mexican culture too. Just the way we eat is part of Mexican culture. Some of the music that we listen to be part of Mexican culture. So we all share cultures. So we can all live inside. We can all live as people with our own culture together. Like you said, like it don't just because immigration coming there don't mean they're going to disappear. Japanese people just going to disappear from the face of the earth. No culture has done that. That's I mean, like they suppressed a lot of them. Like, of course, back in the day, they was killing off people and races of people and things of that nature. So of course their culture was, and we still have bits and pieces of their culture and things that we do. Even the people that they did kill and murder off. You know what I mean? We still living with some of their culture and things of that nature. So certain cultures just not going to never die because of people living by it, by not even on purpose. Go ahead.
No, there's no such thing as a pure culture because all cultures branch from each other's cultures. Some cultures are born out of different cultures coming together. Hence the American culture, like you just explained. Will, I'm on he gets I got the video back up. Do you want me to play some more of it?
I mean, what do you guys think? Was it worthwhile? I mean,
'Cause I listened to it while you was talking, but he said what you said. He said in the sense of I'm gonna let him speak for himself real quick, and I'll we could go back into the conversation. Let me let him speak for himself, because that's the point you was trying to make. Will, hold on.
I like to hear like with the Japanese people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because that is they is their experience. Hold on.
Germans, British, and Canadians,
Fair
after
use.
making a video about Japan's immigration issue, they said things like, Japan, learn from us. Otherwise, your own traditions and culture will disappear, just like ours did. I was really surprised and moved. I learned that Canada also has traditions and culture. I'm sorry, Canadian people. I misunderstood. When I was a student, learning Japanese history was really hard. I had to memorize many books. Sometimes I envy the Canadians because they only have to memorize a few books. But recently, even in Canada, anti-immigrant movements are happening. Yes, Canada, the kind and polite country famous for saying sorry all the time. Can you believe it? Even Justin Bieber, who represents Canada, sings sorry in his songs. But now, some Canadians have started saying, fuck immigrants. Even though Canada is a country built by immigrants, immigrants are even rejecting other immigrants. They said, if immigrants come,
Do we want to
safety
pause it
will
right
get
there?
worse. I guess they finally understand how the indigenous
on.
people feel.
The strongest statement I heard.
I wanted to see what he was, because he was dragging out the point. It wasn't him that said it. He was saying what they had said. You see
Right
what I'm
now, for
saying?
sure. Yeah, for
he
sure.
was talking about like he was saying like the West, people in the West was warning Japan, not how he felt about it. He was just
No, I
dragging it
know.
out. You know what I mean?
No, I
I'm just curious to see what he thinks. If you don't mind, can I play it a little bit more of it?
Yeah, I thought with YouTube, you're supposed to like say like you don't want to play the whole video. You want to like pause it and say things like to keep it fair.
Yeah, but we still kind of like, we ain't started at the beginning. We started in the middle too.
Roger that.
Accept a lot of immigrants in the name of diversity. Opposition to immigration can also grow as a form of diversity, and this creates division in the country. Why? Because liberals promote diversity, but they often don't accept the diversity of conservatives. As a result, left-wing activists go in circles in their thinking, and right-wing activists do the same, and neither side moves forward. In Japan now, some Western left-wing activists who live here.
All right, he's kind of boring.
I was enjoying it.
It was all right. I mean that's his fight. So I mean I get it. But I don't know.
It looked
But
like
making a parallel to you know, like the reason, I don't know if y'all been paying attention, like you know, the National Guard has been deployed over there in Chicago now as well, not only in DC, but now in Chicago when they having a protest and a rally for ISIS, right? And like what I got from that video was basically like the fight continue. It's like y'all gonna eradicate my whole entire culture with other, and then down the line we won't have a culture that is ours any longer. Like for instance, with like that's basically what I got to sum off of the video, was like, the immigrants coming in, and and so many of them will come in, and then it'll get to the point where as though I don't have the same opportunities anymore. The immigrants is in my way. They're taking and they kind of like becoming a majority in essence to what I mean, like if Japan, if they're not repopulating, and then you bring over all these immigrants and they're repopulating, they're getting into the economy, they making the economy grow and everything. What you think gonna happen eventually over time with Japan, with if you overpopulate them with immigrants?
Yes, but it's like a double-edged sword, Lou, because like you mentioned a couple of good things, like the end result can be Japanese not having opportunities, but right now they got a lot of opportunities and slots that can't be filled because they top heavy, meaning they got more older population, and they need working people paying taxes into the system so the older people could take stuff out. The pyramid scheme, just like here. The other part is like what you said, like with Chicago, I think the West is warning Japan. Remember, we had people burning American flags and raising up their country flag and stuff like that, and they hate the country that they're in, but they won't go back to their country. That's what they're warning them about. Imagine fighting to get to Japan, and be there because it's opportunities, but then saying fuck you, Japan, my culture overall, and then you don't even realize how much of a culture is rooted in your shit into situations like we had here, whether you like it or not,
Yeah,
or agree with it or not. When it rears its face, if you're from here, that's kind of scary because you don't want your country to turn to the country they just left.
I
You
was
know,
going
Bill, I really go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry.
I was going to say the guy who was speaking. The mass is always going to feel threatened when any people come in. That's just like us. We're talking right now. We're talking about Japan, but we still having the same conversation about immigrants here. Whether you for it, against it, whatever it is, still having a conversation here about it. So it's like this is just something that the mass is going to feel some kind of way because, like you said, they bringing in all these people. That's going to slim the workforce down for the people that's already there. And then, like you said, it depends on what kind of level they come in. If they come in, if it's cheap labor, then the people that's already there, just like us, going to do the same thing. We can't stand on what we feel as though we're worth because if they could get it for done cheaper, they're going to do it. You know what I mean? So, and it's the same. I'm answering the question for the person who left a comment too when he was saying, let's say it's New Jersey running out of people. Nobody would want that kind of mass immigration in no state, no country, no nothing, because it's going to lessen opportunities for the people that's there. Now, that's in the reality and ideally thinking. But reality based, the people who's doing it, like you keep trying to tell people, well, they don't care about none of this shit. All they're worrying about is a way to further their own life and careers so they can have money and live 100 times better than we arguing over. You know what I mean? They don't care about that's just like they had to make a law so they wouldn't have children in factories making sneakers and things of that nature. So you think they care about anybody, about anything? Only thing that matters is product, and that transfers into money. So however they can get their product done, the cheapest way they can do it, they're going to get it done. And the people affected by it, sit down, shut up, deal with it, take the rest of the crumbs that we not giving them. And we might make a few of y'all, we might give a couple of y'all a sandwich while we gonna get them some crumbs while we eating the whole buffet and throwing the buffet away because we don't give a fuck. That's how much money we got. You know what I mean? So like, we all gonna be worried about that. Of course he's gonna say something about it, and everybody worrying about their so-called race being bled out and things of that nature. I think that shit starting to sound redundant and ridiculous. Like eventually everybody should just be green, and then it be what it is. And then you ain't got to worry about somebody saying that. Then we could enjoy whatever we want to enjoy without having to be looked at a certain way. Whether a white person want to like black music, a black person want to like white music. If we all green, it won't matter who like what. They just would it be what it be. So we keep on talking about immigrants and this person, that person. That's part of the problem. When we keep on discussing separatism, like you said, we keep on saying, oh, they keep on trying to separate us. Like I said in the beginning, they done already got it to the point mentally that we separating ourselves. So they ain't got to do nothing but sit back and reap the benefits. And it's constantly being done on a day-to-day basis all day long. So like if people keep on talking about my culture, my this and my that, we this and we this and we that, the people who's exploiting us going to continue to exploit us. We're going to keep working as hard as we can just to have a decent place to live in a nice environment and say that we okay now. But you know what I mean? We can't all be millionaires, but you see what I'm saying? At the same time, like we ain't got to keep on arguing over no silly shit. And he worrying about that shit. They got in Japan. He worrying about Japan like we got our own problem. What they gonna do? What do you think he gonna sit there? You think he gonna get on this show and say, you know what? What I think they did to George Floyd or this young black man or whatever and support us. So no, I mean like whatever they're going through, like they got to deal with that shit. Like it seems like Americans, especially African Americans, always act like that they got a heart for somebody else. Not you, Will, person. I ain't saying that, but I'm just saying like for Americans to be discussing what's going on over that period. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we still got 1,000 issues. This man, like, he deploying troops at will. And like you said, Marty, at the beginning, it's illegal, but he's still
How do
doing
we keep bringing Trump into this, bro?
I'm just saying.
He's giving a parallel. He's giving a parallel.
Exactly. Like, I'm giving a parallel. I mentioned him. I just talked for 15 minutes. I mentioned him for 3 seconds as a parallel to say that we still got problems here with people that's abusing their power here. So like people abuse their power in Japan, they abuse their power in China. All the elites abuse the power and they exploit the masses. So it's like if we keep on worrying about, like you said, being separate and who we are as individuals, you see what I'm saying? Like, instead of being like, you know what? Fuck this person who's doing all this to 1 million people. Like, we ain't saying fuck the person that's doing it to 1 million people. We saying fuck Steve over there and fuck Jeff over there. You know what I mean? We ain't saying fuck the person who's creating all this shit. We saying they our friend, whoever it may be. You know what I mean? Whoever personality you want to call it, Trump, Farrakhan, whoever these people with these high personalities. You know what I mean? The Ching Chung, whatever his name is, the China president, whoever, Putin, all these people. You feel what I'm saying? Like, these are the people that's creating these type of scenarios, but yet and still we talking about these lower people and worrying about lower stuff. You feel what I'm saying? Like, instead of being collectively like, yeah, you Asian, you Mexican, and you African American, but we all being treated the same way. Whether it's individually or collectively, we still all being treated the same way, and it's fucked up. No matter what race you are, even if you white.
What is the little stuff that we shouldn't be talking about again?
I'm just saying, like, about being separate, about, like he said, all that, like talking about infiltrating their culture and how their culture is going to die out and things of that nature. Like, everybody needs to be like,
individual culture isn't important, is what you're saying.
I'm saying that if that's what you're going to focus on, you're going to continue to be exploited by people who don't give a fuck about no culture. The people who have money don't care about culture. They care about what they can do to exploit you and I to make better money. So yeah, if you want to get technical, no, it don't matter. That's what they're trying to make you believe in, so we can stay individual. Just like these 4 blocks on this thing we looking at right now. We all 4 individual blocks. You know what I'm saying? That's how they want to keep shit. You got the Asian culture, could be me. You got Marty, that's the Mexican culture. Got you, that's the African American culture. Then you got Lou, that could be the white culture. Then you can have Lai, that could be the Indian culture. But we still all separate. You feel what I'm saying? And then, like you said, and we keep talking about separatism, like, and culture. You see what I'm saying? That's still keeping us as individual groups. While the people you talk about, these people that's say like Elon Musk or Putin or Jeff Bezos or fucking whoever own all this shit, you think they sitting around and being like, you know what? I'm worried about my culture being taken. Or I'm worried about these people infiltrating my culture. No, they not. They worried about how much money they can make the next day so they can stay on top of the world. They not worried about no culture. None of them. And if they even say anything about culture, it's only to exploit it so it can better their careers and their financial independence. That's it.
You know, I strongly disagree. I think that culture is what gives us a lot of our boundaries in life. Without our individual cultures and backgrounds, we wouldn't have boundaries. And I think that the government is interested in eliminating our cultural boundaries. You know, like, there's certain things that certain groups of people won't do, and they want to get rid of that. I actually think they're strongly advocating people caring about their culture less. And it goes back to what you said about U.S. culture becomes different things. Whatever we're doing now, whatever we whatever we do at football games and baseball games, the way our kids act at the parades, that is not like our grandparents would not identify that as American culture. And I guess you say that. No. I guess, can I finish? You
I'm
went
sorry,
for a while.
Sorry, but I got a good question, but go ahead.
No, go ahead. What's your question?
No, my question is, right now, you was mentioning culture, right, and how important it is, right. Now,
the boundaries.
The boundaries, right? Give me an example of something that if you forgot about, or that it wasn't part of your culture, that would destroy and uproot your life and make your life different and make you not live the way you live? Name something.
I mean,
the way you dance, the music you listen to. What's about your culture that you can that if it disappeared, that it would alter your life and make your life any less entertaining or fulfilling?
I mean, just like the basic Western Christian values that structure our entire society. Without them, we wouldn't have any of this infrastructure that we enjoy. We wouldn't have these cell phones and computers to have this podcast if it wasn't for
culture.
Western
That's
Christian
technology.
values.
That's technology.
No.
That's not culture.
But
You're talking about cell phone.
but culture, technology comes from culture.
No, it doesn't. Technology comes from science. Culture has nothing to do with technology.
And,
Okay.
and can I say something? And it definitely don't, hold on, yo. And science and religion is not the same thing, and technology come from science. I get what you're trying to say, Will, but we not all Christians, Doug. And I don't think Christianity is why we got what we got. Christianity, I mean, a lot of Western culture was adopted. Remember we talked about how culture like form out of different cultures? We was talking earlier about that. A lot of Western culture comes from other places too, which form Western culture, because what you call Western culture today wasn't always Western culture. You see what I'm saying? So like, I hear what you're saying, but I wouldn't contribute it to Christianity, respectfully.
Yeah, because what about the Muslims? Like, they didn't believe in Christianity and things.
You wouldn't have paradigm theory without the Muslims.
Yeah, like you can't base nothing on a belief system, because that's exactly what it is, a belief system. I don't believe in nothing. I don't believe in no atheist. I don't believe in no Allah. I don't believe in nothing's higher power. So nothing that I say is going to be attributed to nothing religious whatsoever. You know what I mean? So like, to try to say that has any birth, like culture, like, let's get back to what we was talking about. What we was talking about was culture, right? And I asked you, like, what in your culture that would stop you from living the life that you're living if something was taken from you out your culture? This word you keep using like it's so important. You say you disagree that if we lose our culture somehow, what's going to happen if we lose our culture? If everybody in this world lost their individual culture, what would happen to this world? Except people would get along better.
Hold on, can I say something real quick, fellas?
That's crazy. Like,
Hold that question, Will, but go ahead, Marty. Hold that question, Will. But Marty, go ahead, speak.
I'd just like to say thank you, Mo, for coming in, and we need you up here more. That's it. Y'all can continue with y'all discussion.
That's why you interrupted us, Marty. Wait, see, that's why you like.
Can I interject? Can we interject?
You will, because Marty.
You know you got order.
Go ahead, Will.
You know you got to break up the monotony a little bit.
I agree with Uncle Marty. Can I answer your question, Will? Since Will won't answer it, can I answer your question?
No,
I want to answer it. You guys keep interrupting me.
Thank you. Let them answer.
I'm not interested in yelling over anybody. And I mean, essentially, culture is us. Like the way our families are, the foods we eat, the way we smell, the traditions we celebrate, our religions. Everything that makes us feel good, what makes us feel familiar, what makes us feel close, which makes us feel warm, all of these things are culture. And I do get what you're saying. If there were no differences, there would be no conflicts. And so, yeah, if there were only men and we were all gay, yeah, I don't know. It's just like we're talking about something that really doesn't make any sense. Like, the difference between us is the spice of life in every single way, just like the difference between men and women is the spice of life. Whether you're talking about food, whether you're talking about dance, whether you're talking about transportation. And the thing is, the religions that did the best in this world in terms of the society, the religions that the most successful societies quote unquote embrace whatever their elites were really doing in their back rooms, they did so well because they were established on mutually co-beneficial values of sympathy and empathy. Do not kill, do not steal, these types of things. And people like to say, like, you don't need religion for that. You just need to think about that. But that shit obviously does not work. You know, people need law and order. People need boundaries and divides. Without boundaries and divides, we stand for nothing and we roll over for everything.
I totally
Yo,
disagree.
can I say something?
I still
Can I
think
say something?
You merging
I just-
what I'm saying. You're. I don't.
Can I say
I
something,
don't
please?
listen. I'm just saying, like, you're saying that the more separate we are, like I understand what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, we can be our individual, but what you talking about, what we got from culture, right? Every emotion you explain, I get from my children, and that has nothing to do with culture, nothing whatsoever. Me and my kid could go out here and live it, but that's what I'm saying. The emotions you explain that you said you got from having this culture, I get from being with my family. So that don't have nothing to do with culture. You could get those emotions from different aspects of your life. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you take
Family act is culture.
not family act is that's a natural thing. That's not no culture.
No, it's not.
Family values, yes.
A Caribbean family has a Caribbean culture. An
Exactly.
African American family has an African American culture.
You're absolutely correct. But a man, woman, wait a minute. But a man, woman, and child is just a man, woman, and child. They could be black, white, green, or purple. They just a man, woman, and child. They ain't got nothing to do with no culture. And if they live in a
because to have a family is a culture.
Wait. So if you got a family that lives in a cave, you feel as though that their life is going to be less fulfilled because they're not running around here celebrating holidays and talking about that they're this and they're that. You think that their life going to be less fulfilled because they're not running around here celebrating?
The practice of having a nuclear family, let me answer. The practice of having a nuclear family is a cultural value. The fact that Japan's culture no longer values having children, they have to import the cultures that value having 5 to 20 fucking kids. The way our families act is by definition culture. Human behavior is culture. Our habits collectively as a society is culture. There are cultures where all the kids get raised by one old person in the village while all the adults are doing fucking jobs. Like, the way to have a mother, a father, and children as a microcosm of society in itself is a cultural value.
I know what culture means. Go ahead, Marty.
All right, so let me tell y'all what y'all black culture is. Struggle and resiliency. Talk back to me.
I don't understand what's going on.
That's what our black culture is. Struggle and resiliency. I don't know what you guys talking about.
We're talking about how culture affects people, and if it was not a part of what me and Will said that we were talking about how they the culture is being diluted, so to speak. And I was saying to the degree that maybe if all cultures was just mixed in together and became one culture, then maybe we would be better off. And then we can stop focusing on these things and focus on the matters at hand, which is the exploiting of the masses. Now, when you talking about the real important thing that people really need to be thinking about and talking about and concerned with is us being exploited and us being working out to our life to the bone for, like you said, crumbs and maybe a sandwich. And while they're eating and throwing away buffets just because they have it, and he strongly disagreed because he said culture is important. Yeah, it's important to be if you into trying to separate something, but it ain't really important if you're just trying to be a human being. Because, like I said, a family is just 3 humans living and surviving, and they nothing, and they don't need to be celebrating or and wearing a certain thing or dancing a certain way or eating a certain type of food to be happy. And that's all I was saying.
See, I just want to say this, right? I hear you guys, but you know this whole this whole economics, the people, it's always going to be somebody making more money than us. People going to always have to work for somebody. I own the company and I still work for somebody. It's how you work the system. You see what I'm saying?
Can I say something real quick? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Let me hold on. I was talking, nobody heard me. I just wanted to. My bad. No, I ain't mean to interrupt. I'm in the car. I just wanted to say thanks for the super chat, yo, from Mo. We appreciate you. She said, let's be honest about Black culture being the most influential globally. Okay, continue. Shout out to Mo. Thanks for always supporting the platform. You know you always welcome whenever you want to jump on. Just ask for the link. And I'll read the rest of the comments once I get back in the house. But shout out to Mo and thanks.
I could read the rest of the comments.
Thank you.
Yeah, she went off in there. She went off in there. Thank you very much.
My thing is, like, I just don't, I hate just having open-ended conversations.
Oh yeah, she agrees with me.
You know, I just don't understand, having these open-ended conversations. As I say, everybody gonna make more money than somebody. It's how you work the system. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? One man may be good with one car. Another man may say, well, hey, I want to get 2 cars. It's how you work the system. To me, it's too much time wasted on what another person does. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I look at it, man. Maybe other people may look at it different, but I really think it's how you work the system.
So you comfortable with somebody having $300 billion and you making whatever you make a year? You're fine with that?
I could care less. What difference?
Yeah, but that's the problem, though. That's what I'm saying. But then you can care about what Trump doing with the troops and all of this stuff. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what the problem is. And we're like, this is what the listen. You go ahead. I know you care less. I know that's what you're going to say. But what I'm saying is, it's nowhere in the world. Like I'm saying, if one person can have $300 billion, what is that saying for the rest of the people? You think that's fair to the rest of the people? Now, if all of us was making, if $1 million or $5 million,
someone's got feedback. Someone that's feedback.
It sounds like, oh, I can hear it echoing.
Everybody mute themselves when they're not speaking.
Can I interject? I just have something very small to say. Very small but very big. Now listen, man. The piggyback on Japan. I want to get back to Japan and what can everybody else learn globally from what Japan is going through, and how can other societies globally learn from what Japan is currently experiencing in silent, but they still resilient in a sense because they still driving to a certain degree. And anybody can answer this.
Ask your question one more time, Lou. I'll try to answer it.
I said, what can other nations learn from this the issues that's going on in Japan And how is it? How does it affect, you know, other nations globally? And you know, what can other nations basically learn from this crisis that's going on in Japan? And as it relates to, you know, the growth population, the economy, and how Japan is basically you know, kind of like not really making a whole lot of noise in in going through the crisis, but they stand resilient and really still thriving to a certain degree while going through it.
I think Japan has a unique problem. I think their problem is kind of the opposite. Like everybody in the States and in the Western culture, you know, they just swallowing abortion pills and stuff like that and creating all kinds of families, whether they're good and bad, when Japan has the opposite, right? What should we learn from Japan? It depends on your stance and how you feel about being ethnocentric, right? Right now, the way a lot of countries set up, especially in the West, if they try to become ethnocentric, they would have to get rid of a lot of people who got roots in the country and stuff like that. So, like, that's not a way for like these countries to go at this point because everybody contributed to it, and a lot of the places that they're not indigenous to them places. You see what I'm saying? So, like, what they did was spread, like the word will like to use, culture abroad. That's why you got white Jesus in Nigeria. You know what I'm saying? So, I think one lesson that people can learn from them, like to Will's overall point, is to preserve your culture wherever it is. You know what I'm saying? Whatever makes you different and unique, you know, try to preserve it. And there's nothing wrong with being accepting to other people's culture. You can still have your culture alongside everybody else's. I don't think that Japan is going to be swallowed up at all. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think they're going to be swallowed up. That's my 2 cents.
To piggyback off of Larry, I'd say, yeah, I guess my stance is like more conservative in and nationalistic and maybe even ethnocentric in the sense that we could learn from Japan to stick to the values that did our elders the best over time. And like in our community, I feel like if we had valued the soulful music of our grandparents and didn't let it evolve into what a lot of modern hip hop has evolved into, our community might be better off. But we didn't hold on to our culture and we allowed it to transform into whatever it's become.
I think to your point, Will, the music part of it got hijacked. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of that same music that you grew up listening to still exists. It's just not being pushed by the mainstream. Unfortunately, now what the appetite is the crap that you hear. So like if you're not making that crap, you're not gonna get on the mainstream. And you know who control the mainstream.
Yeah, and
But
very
that
much
don't
like
take no accountability from us though.
I agree.
Go ahead, Bill. Finish your statement.
Okay.
I mean, it is what it is. I always said, but it's like people, of course, the masses going to fear immigration because they're going to thin out the job market, and then the crumbs that we already fighting for, we're going to have to fight even harder for. And that's what I think his fear is. The people of Japan fear is. So it's a natural fear, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, things got to be made. Production has to be produced, and shit got to get done. Money got to be made. Things got to happen. So, you know, if that's what needs to happen to make their society keep pushing, period, and then they can maintain their culture inside that society. But they got to have a society to have a culture. And like you said, if they fall off, you know what I mean? What's the culture going to matter if they don't have no people to try to carry it on and things of that nature? So they got to have a society first, and then they could, you know, build their society back up, and then, you know, they could live within any culture. It's a subculture. Subculture is a word. It's a word for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And you know what else, Bill? You know what else, Bill? You brought out something good. The same thing that happened here with the influx of immigrants, you know, to get the jobs to help build up the economy. I think that was the whole idea on letting a lot of different people in. Because remember, immigration was limited to certain countries just in Europe. And then during the civil rights and all that stuff, we started getting black immigrants because we fought for that. And now, you know, you got more liberal society, and now you got what you have here. But one benefit of that was the economy. The side effect was what you said, us fighting for crumbs and the wages coming down because people coming from less than or do it for cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And even work under the table. You know what I'm saying? So like Japan, on the other hand, it is not to that degree, but like how will they manage that influx of immigrants given what's happened here and everywhere else?
I would say that would be a little difficult due to the technology aspect of things as well, and security. I think managing that it could be tricky. It could definitely be problematic because they don't have the same let's say defense, you know, that we have in the States over or certain Western countries or whatnot. So it could be definitely problematic as it relates to kind of like keeping the order or keeping the influx of immigrants, like for them to like prevent the takeover. Because if you let more, if they kind of like, you know, I think it got to be some type of it would be just problematic, man. That's to sum it up, man. My honest opinion, basically.
You know what though? Like to Will point, you and this I think this is like the thin line here, right? When it comes to other people coming, cultures, it will be a rival culture, especially in a place like Japan, right? And they got a unique culture, right? And then let's just say like Islamic culture, like that would be a rivaling culture, because in that culture it's like a convert thing to our way of thinking and what we our belief system, because that's a part of that culture. And then some of the stuff in the belief system in Islam can go against the dominant culture. Now we got rivaling cultures. I mean, that's not to say that they can coexist, but that could be a potential issue.
Yeah, I think it's almost unavoidable, and I think one thing people really don't they manipulate media so well because it's never brought up that like if they would just raise wages, that would take care of a lot of the workforce problems and the lack of birth rate problems in the first place. But instead of raising wages with inflation and the cost of living, they just, we're just going to bring in some more poor people who will do more with less because they're desperate, and until we have to replace them too. It's it seems obviously blatantly intentional, and it's probably just the cult. Go ahead, Tyler.
My question is, what is the average wage in Japan?
Shit, that's a good question. I was talking. My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, I thought I was off mute. I had said, I apologize, Uncle Marty. I was on mute and I thought I was off. I had said that one of the side effects is when they import these poor people that they take advantage of, right? These poor people that they import here have kids. And then they don't want the leftovers. They want it all. Then they become direct competition because they have the same rights and everything else. They part of the culture. You know what I'm saying? So like that's the other side of it. You know what I mean? So like if somebody's born in Japan, I don't know if they have a 14th Amendment anything like that over there. But like if somebody's born there now, they're entitled to the same things as everybody else. They're not just here on a work visa. My bad, Uncle Marty. I thought I was off mute. I apologize.
It's all good, but it's all good. It's all good. No, man, it's all good. But yeah, what is the average wage in Japan? You know, and are they working off a capitalistic system? See, that's all the stuff that's kind of important, you know.
Their
because they
system's almost
even if
just like ours.
okay, so what's the average wage? Because if we say, all right, let's just for shits and giggles, okay, you saying that let's say they make a average $10 an hour per person, and they bring in some immigrants and they pay them $3 an hour, right? That still doesn't help their population control. That doesn't keep their culture, even though they pay them $3 an hour and now they're gonna have more babies on $3 an hour. That still doesn't solve their problem. You see what I'm saying? They still would have a cultural issue because nobody's not making any babies at no amount of money. I mean, that's just how it would seem to me.
No, I think there are plenty. I think there are people who would have babies if it was financially viable. But you know, a lot of people would rather have a vacation every year and eat well, which is understandable to a degree.
Right, but that's
Are you,
what I'm saying. Even if they're making 10, let's go off your logic. You know, they're making $10 an hour. So what's stopping them from having more babies?
yeah, no. To my understanding, Japan is in a similar place to us, where even a professional upper middle class person doesn't feel like they have the financial stability to take care of a large family, to take care of any family.
Okay.
And you know, it's interesting. Just like we have incels. Are you familiar with the term incels, Uncle Marty?
I'm back.
So the incel is just a young man who's just given up on trying to meet a young lady. They're involuntary celibate. In Japan, they call it a hikikomori or hikanori, but it's an epidemic of young men who have given up on life because they feel completely crushed by the expectations of society. Um, and you know, Bill asked earlier, like, why do you care about this? And I care because it's a parallel, it's a reflection. Japan's society is so much like ours as a product of the nuclear weapons we dropped because we took them over, and we still have military base there that causes all a bunch of problems. You can look into all the rapes. The Marines run through the ladies in Okinawa, and they've been trying to get rid of them. And just to stay on the subject, though, the elites, the politicians, the people who run society they're shaking up the anthill and making it hot and making food scarce. And they're like, we don't know what's going on. I guess we got to get some more ants. Sorry, guys. And to Larry's point, man, oh man, even the first generation of kids who are born in this country, oftentimes they will take less in order to get to the positions because they'll be like, oh, I'm the first Filipino head chef in this Michelin star restaurant. Oh, but I'm taking a little pay cut. But I'm the first blase, blase, blah. You know, they've done that to us a whole bunch. The first black whatever is often not paid what their colleagues are. And so, yeah, I think money is the problem. Inflation is the problem. And it's a horror that we're just bearing witness to.
We had a lot
Like
going on in the day
in the chat, yeah, I
yes,
couldn't
yes.
see
I
all of them.
apologize, man. I apologize. I had to go pick up Mahala. I apologize. I next time I
Oh,
had to
there
step
you
off
go. I
like that,
can say
I'll have my wife run run the board for me to make
Oh,
sure
it's
the
cool. We
comments
got
are
after
not
it.
there. Wow, like this was a great conversation. What do y'all got in closing? Because we getting close to the time to wrap up.
Oh, Bill's taking over the screen again.
Yeah, he just leaning up against the keyboard. Yo. All right, well, look. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Uncle Marty. And Will, I wasn't trying to talk over top of you earlier. I had a reverb, and but I heard how I sounded in the reverb. I was yelling. My bad. That was because I was.
It's all good. It's good television.
Oh no, I just didn't realize how loud it was. I wasn't being emotional. It wasn't one of those this time.
Oh, I wasn't tripping.
I want to say shout out to the chat. James Doe, Mo, thanks. I appreciate it, man. We appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead, Uncle Marty.
You don't have to apologize, James Doe. You know, we can always have a conversation. As long as it ain't disrespectful, we can always have a conversation. But my thing is, you know, we don't have enough time, but I really want to go into this elite thing. And
do you go in?
No, I mean we could
go ahead.
Wait.
You got time. Go ahead. No,
don't be scared.
I just you know,
I'm at the helm now. I'm here with y'all now. Do your thing.
I just don't
get scared.
I just don't I don't get this whole thing about this elite thing. You know what I'm saying? All right, we all working in the system, right? All right, they got their money. Only reason I care about people like Donald Trump is not about the money. I don't care about how much money he makes. Don't stomp on my rights because you want to get rich. You see what I'm saying? Don't destroy my culture because you want to get rich. But
what rights are you stomping?
That's besides the point. I don't really want to get into that part. I mean, okay. I could really get into it, but I don't want to get into that. I'm getting off a topic what I really want to talk about. Like I started this question with this statement with we all work in the system. If you make $20 an hour and I make $20 an hour, what you decide to do with your $20 an hour is your business. We all working in the system. What I decide to do, I may say, hey, I want to invest my money. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to spend, I'm going to spend 5 of my 20 and keep that other 15. So I just don't understand why everybody gets so caught up on what this person make, what that person make. We only can work in the system that we have. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Because let me
yeah, I got it. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, because we need to start early, man. That's 11 o'clock stuff, man.
I'm with you, bro. I'm an old ass man too, man.
I was old.
I did but in reply to you, I think that I disagree, which isn't surprising.
That was directed at Bill. Bill left. I was trying to get him to come back.
Yeah, where is he gone?
Yeah, I think he's gone. He left a message in the chat.
But yeah, Uncle Murray, the thing is, the game is rigged. It's not fair. We're not all factory workers. Some dude's dad sucked the factory owner's dick, and his family got in there, and they're banging kids together, and all of us are just normal workers thinking we got a fair chance. The game is fucked up, bro. It's not. We're not all factory workers with a fair chance and a fair wage. And like us normal people, you, myself, most people of all colors and creeds are just getting stomped on. Our dollars are being stolen out from under us with taxation and inflation, forever wars, and the nanny state. And we're talking about, like, you sound like a conservative. Like, yo, like, why do you care what they're doing? Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You got the same boots I do. That's crazy, bro. Like this, and I guess I sound liberal now, but the system is rigged. There's a dark, shadowy cabal of people who have
I don't know.
completely dismantled our system for merit, logic, and reason, and we're just distracted talking about like fairness and yeah. I'm losing. I'm getting emotional now.
I think the
Oh,
angle was. I get what Uncle
okay.
Marty's saying.
This
Oh, go ahead. My bad. I was going to try to create an argument, but all right, I'll shut up.
Oh no, we
no,
got an argument.
for
Let's
me,
go.
no. For me, this is why I say that. This is why I say what I said. Off of my average work and my wife, we own 5 houses. That's why I say it's what you do with in the system.
Ballin'.
You see what I'm saying?
Ballin'.
No, I bust my ass, me and my wife, and we've been
Humble
married
brag.
for 20 years. I'm just trying to make a point. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just trying to make a point when I say it's how you work the system. I ain't got time to worry about them. Yeah, they gonna always make more money than me. It's what I decide to do and how I work the system. That's what I mean.
Uncle Marty, I hear what you're saying, right? But what he was saying was, I think, because I was trying to get the argument to keep going, but Bill gone. But I think the angle he was trying to make is not necessarily that you trying to doing everything that you did. I know your situation personally. You definitely grind. Sidebar, to be perfectly honest, when I came home from prison, Uncle Marty was the one who got me in the trades to where I'm in the position I'm in now. And I've been in the trades for 21 years and 21 years and some change. So thank you, Uncle Marty. So let's just put it out there. You
No
definitely
need for
grind.
that.
You definitely grind. But what Bill was trying to argument he was saying is that what he was talking about, like wage gaps, because that's what y'all was talking about at the time, and Will was making a point like people would have more kids if they paid more, because a lot of people don't want to have kids that they can't take care of. Logical people, not people that are just spitting kids out like it's a fucking like they're going to piss and shit. We talking about people who want to actually have a family. They're not having families because them not being able to afford to. And Will was saying if they fucking would pay people more, raise the minimum wage, or just pay people more. Anyway, rolling into what Bill was the argument he was making about them being corrupt and the game being rigged is because profits is always at a fucking all-time high across the board, and people are not being paid fairly is the argument they was trying to make. Not necessarily y'all went into y'all last week argument a little bit, but I think that's what he was. I think that was his overall point. I wish he was here to say
it all connects though. It all connects.
It does. Like, it does.
And like the erosion of our culture is why we're allowing these things to happen. Like if we had strong families and we were collectively thinking together, we would not have allowed these things to happen. And it does matter. It does matter how the system is rigged, because even if we all making $20, is it? And let's say that we all are making $20 an hour, and some of us grind like Uncle Marty, are smart, know the right people, lucky, all the right combination of variables, and some of us aren't. Why is it okay that we're getting taxed into the ground? Why is it okay that our public services are getting used by people who never pay taxes? Why is that okay? We're getting ripped off for taxes, and then we're getting ripped off for the services our taxes pay for. Why is that okay?
It's not okay, and I agree with everything that you're saying. But in the grand scheme of things, this is the system, and it's how you work the system. I don't have to agree with it,
but that's the thing.
But unfortunately, is the system that
I'm sorry, my bad.
I mean, I agree. I agree with everything. Yes, the wages are stagnant. Yes, I couldn't, I couldn't do what I did on a $7, whatever the average wage. I understand and fully agree with all of that. Not taking it from nobody, but what I'm saying is
It's
You
it's like
gotta
what you
work
said.
the system that you
I'm a
in.
what Uncle Marty said. We got it like what you when you describe black culture in America is that basically. It's like it's unfair, but we've been dealing with shit since it's been unfair since forever. It's always been unfair. So you just gotta navigate through it. That's the answer. The kind of lot tie in both. Let me say this real quick to Mo. Mo, I haven't read that book, but I'm about to start a series called Coffee and Books, and that could be one of the books that I read and talk about. So I'm gonna definitely add that to my list. Shout out to you.
No more podcasts. Take some time off.
Who?
You.
I've been off for a week. What you talking about? I've been off for. Oh, I get what you're saying. I see. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
No,
Right,
you know my personality. You can't leave on your topic. You can't
you
run.
right. I got my lady. My lady's been patient,
Ahead,
bro.
you need to go ahead, man. It's all right.
You went and like you breastfed.
I want to say
Good,
this.
but can I say my?
I'm proud. I'm proud of the part. I'm proud of y'all today. I mean, I say that respectfully, because I was wondering how we was going to broach this topic. I think we did a good job. Because it was different. Because it had absolutely nothing to do with us.
Everything to do with
everywhere. At Holmax everywhere. HolmaxPerformance.com. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, Will.
Thank you, sir.
Uncle Marty. Look, hold on. You got any jobs you want to add?
Nope.
All right.
Man, I've been out here grinding. You know, I got my new job. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, I've been I realized a lot of things that I used to do I can't do. I'm starting to realize my mortality and shit. So just been getting your cousin ready. Marty and Chassie, getting them ready to build this thing up. Maybe they could take it a little further than I did. But that's it.
I just turned 44. So y'all ain't see me dropping nothing because I was chilling, taking time off. But I got some things coming down the pike. Definitely about to lock back in with Uncle Marty and get back on our schedule. Everybody gone, but I want to see if one of these Saturdays we could do it in person. I just gotta buy a 5 mic interface. I got a 4 mic interface, but I'll buy a 5 mic interface that's gonna cost like $500, but it'd be worth it.
That's too far for me.
What, too far where I live? We ain't gotta do it at night, man. We're doing the day. What? It's too far, Uncle Marty. Is we doing this so we not, Marty? Is we doing this so we not? Let me drive one of those 80 cars you got over here.
Let me tell you this. I'm a professional driver. I drive all day. When I get off, I don't want to drive.
I ain't trying to hear none of that. No, we got this. Nope. We locking in. I'm 44. I'm getting old. It's over. It's over.
Okay.
Look, my hair growing back. I'm seeing all these grays because I keep the bald head and I got the little shadow. That shadow getting starting pepperish. It's crazy out here. Crazy out here, man.
I ain't gonna lie. James Doe was in it. James Doe been in the comments.
Yeah, shout out to him, man.
Shout out to James Doe, man.
Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't
keep coming. Keep it coming.
Comments, man. Definitely
appreciate it.
We do this every Saturday, man, 9 o'clock. Hopefully we can do 2 shows a week, but right now we just locking in with 1. You know, we trying to figure this thing out. It's like when the solar system formed and all the rocks banging into each other and all the planets forming and orbiting around the star in the middle. That's what we trying to do. That's where we at. So
definitely. I like James got a lot of comments. So yeah, definitely come back, man, and I think we'll have a good conversation.
I think that moving forward, the last part of the show, the last half an hour, we're gonna put the link out and bring people on. That's gotta be able to man and control in case somebody tries to be naked or something crazy and get us canceled, get the channel tore down. Definitely appreciate Mo.
Oh,
Everybody, did everybody buy Mo book? Make sure y'all go buy Mo book.
No, because I don't have none. I don't have none of these recordings. Matter of fact, it don't even matter. I don't know how to do this. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I want you to get make sure y'all get Mo book. I'm gonna buy another one.
All right.
I'm a what's the name? Matter of fact, next podcast we're gonna have her book as the backdrop. She always support the platform. Make sure y'all support her. I'm gonna send the link for the book. It's on Amazon in the chat. Man, let me see if I can find it.
And they won't these guys won't say it, but honestly, I think we need to have more women on the show. It was some things that was said that honestly I didn't agree with at all. You know what I'm saying? But these guys not here to defend themselves. As soon as I find out how to do these reactions, I definitely will be reacting to some of the things that comments that
I told you what to do.
Man, I've been trying. I've been trying, man. Look, I just figured out how to pull some stuff up.
Yeah, I want the women to come on the show. There's people who you got to find people that want to do it. I don't want nobody to jump on to do it just because they're doing a favor.
Right.
You know
they don't even have to show their face. And I'm getting Tracy together now. I just hooked her stuff up for her last week, so trying to get her on here. But you know, she an Israelite, so Saturday is kind of hard for her.
I'm an Israelite too.
I know what you are. That's why I said it.
It's the Shabbat.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to. I gotta pit. I'm gonna pit Mo book in the link. Definitely get Mo book, yo. Definitely get Mo book.
You know that ain't an issue for me.
I'm gonna say
I like Mo. Mo cool.
Yeah,
people.
definitely. I'll be watching her content too. Make sure y'all go over there, hit the like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all.
What's that? That's her. What's the name? Your logical thinker.
Yeah, that's her page.
Her page. All right, I'm about to go get.
I'm about to go. I'm about to put it in the chat. Give me a second. Hold on.
Yeah, man. I want to apologize to y'all too, man. I don't know what's going on with my phone, man. I just keep going in and out and in and out and in and out.
All right, we about to switch it up for real. We about to log out. I just want to
yeah.
Mo out real quick in the chat real quick. I want to get her channel, and I want to put it in the chat. Hold on. And I want to hit her book in the chat. So hold on. Here's the book. I'm about to put the book in the chat. All right, hold on. So let's get the book in the chat. And I'm going to put her page. That's the link for the book. I know it's a long ass link, but it's the Amazon link. And if you have problems, hold on, copy channel ID. If you have problems, here's the link to the actual channel. And boom. So make sure y'all go holler at Mo. Is in the chat. And did y'all see it come up in the chat? Yeah, it came up in the chat.
Yeah,
so,
I got it.
All her stuff right there.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so definitely go get jump on Mo channel, like, share, subscribe. Go get the book.
Oh, Mo the shit.
Yeah. So let's go. I challenge everybody to buy the book. I'm gonna buy it again. And when it come in the mail, hold it up to the joint. Yeah, Mo be over there putting work in. She be dropping. She be definitely dropping. So yeah. Definitely support her. Shout out to you, Mo. We about to get out of here. Thanks for watching. I see y'all next week.
Yeah. See y'all next week.